Before I talked about unmarried Korean actors and their reasons, this time let's talk about K-pop idols who are in their older age and still not married. Sandara Park, who is 39 years old, hasn't been in any dating scandals. She has been shipped with other artists like G-Dragon, but she has never confirmed that she is dating anyone. As we know, during their trainee and early debut years, companies don't allow their artists to date. Sandara found another way to date and talked about it. You will get cut down if you date, because as a trainee, you're supposed to be harnessing your skills and practicing. After we debuted, a 5-year dating ban was implemented, so I chose to cyber date. Then she shared many idols' fears, which break many relationships. One time, a vacation leave was given to me, so my ex-boyfriend and I planned a trip. He was excited for it, but on the day of the trip, I got terrified. I thought that if I went outside, people would shout, "Oh look, it's to anyone," and lots of paparazzi would come. So on that day, I ghosted him. He called multiple times, but I just stared at my phone and said sorry. Sandara then confirmed that her ex-boyfriend was a celebrity when host member Kim Guore asked about his status. Which is really sad. The fear of getting caught and then getting slandered is massive among the idols. You can see from Karina's situation that probably she thought in the beginning that the time had changed and people were more accepting, but no, everything like has been, and she felt like she needed to apologize to her fans. As well, in another interview, Sandara said, "When I was a trainee, I was scolded for being in a relationship, and my manager took away my cell phone. Then after I debuted, there was a 5-year dating ban, but now that she is free and older, she can do whatever she pleases. But still, even though she got her freedom to find the one, she says she doesn't want to get married." Korean singer and actor Tak Jae-hoon asked her, "Why, do you hate men?" To which, Dara replied that she has witnessed too many failed marriages, so she just opts to stay single. "It's not like that. I want to stay single. There are too many people around me who have failed marriages. It is quite common among people whose parents got divorced." If you have watched a video that I made about Sandara's father, you would understand why she thinks like this. Even though she doesn't want to get married, she is open to dating. "Only recently did I make up my mind to date actively. All I needed was a will to be more assertive. I would like to take this opportunity to apologize to my ex-boyfriends." Boa, who is 37 years old, mentioned a few times that she wants to get married, but to this day she hasn't. Boa said that she believed that she would get married after 5 years of her career. Well, you know, all K-pop idols had a short lifespan in the industry years ago. It was mostly no longer than 5 years. So, I figured I would retire in about 5 years as well. I thought I would go to school and get married. When Yoonghwa laughed, Boa said, "Uni, I honestly believed that I would get married. I used to say that it's my dream to become a good wife and wise mother." In 2015, she did an interview. When asked about her thoughts on marriage and the type of person she would like to get married to, the singer answered, "I think it would be nice to get married 5 to 6 years from now," adding, "I would prefer someone who shares the same beliefs and interests as me." About herself, she commented, "I want to become an understanding woman who can listen to anybody's story." Unfortunately, that time came and she still hadn't found anyone. Another artist who set a time when they want to get married is G-Dragon. He has been vocal about wanting to get married and have kids for years. He has been linked to quite a few ladies like the model Kiko Mizuhara, After School's Lee Joyeon, and then Blackpink's Jennie. There have been more, but they are the most popular dating gossips. Back in 2013, he already mentioned that he wanted to get married. "If I had someone, I could get married tomorrow," said G-Dragon. "They say you can spot the person you're going to marry with one's glance. Is that true?" G-Dragon also added, "I have this big fantasy about what marriage is like. When you're dating, there are good parts, but there's also bad parts. I feel like I can't focus on what I like, and I feel like my energy gets taken away. I think if I had a dependable family, I would have a good time both at work and with my family. During the Big Bang anniversary, before they enlisted in the military, they wrote letters to themselves to see in the year 2021. G-Dragon wrote in his that he by that time will be married and having a baby. As we know, that didn't happen. So it seems he still didn't find the one, or he is just bad at keeping a girlfriend, as his band members suggest. Taeyang revealed, a lot of people might think that G-Dragon would be perfect at dating, but he's actually only good at playing games, push and pull, as described in Korean. He continued, when he gave me advice, my relationship with my girlfriend became worse. G-Dragon tried to explain that this happened because he gave advice coming from a position where he is closer to Taeyang and on his side. However, somebody wittily remarked that while G-Dragon is good at coaching, he's not good with his own relationships, and said, Big Bang's sad songs are all from G-Dragon's failed relationships, causing everyone to break out into laughter. G-Dragon retorted, just do well yourself. I noticed that with many idols who are at the older age, they do want to get married but just cannot find a person that they would want to marry. But also there are people who sometimes want to get married and sometimes don't. Just basically hasn't made their minds up yet. And one of them is Heechul. Heechul is already 41, even though during his young days he thought he would never get married. That changed. On my ugly duckling, he said. I asked Shin Dong-yup, don't you think I should get married soon? I want to get married before turning 40, and he said, getting married at even 50 is too soon for you. Hearing this, So Jang-hoon commented, personally, I can't imagine Kim Heechul getting married and raising kids. Which many people can't imagine, and especially how often he changes his mind about marriage. In 2021, he then said he didn't want to get married anymore. I think it's become a trend these days not to get married. I also don't have any plans to get married. If I get married, I can't be on my little old boy anymore. But my mom loves this show. So I'm not interested in getting married anymore. Which is a sad reason to stay single just because your mother likes to be on TV. But in 2023, he announced that he does want to get married again but has no confidence anymore. I have to get married, but I don't think I can do it. I have no confidence in myself when it comes to it. Jin-woo is younger than me, but he's doing great and I'm envious of him. Taking responsibility for a family is a natural thing in a way, but just because it is natural doesn't mean we can do it well. Regarding why he changed his mind, Heechul said, when I saw the falling birth rate statistics, I thought he shouldn't talk about marriage just like that. So instead of saying, I don't want to get married, I'd rather say, I don't think I can get married, considering the sudden plummet in birth rate in Korea. To be honest, he shouldn't feel that he needs to get married because nobody needs to just choose to do it. It's okay to stay in a relationship without getting married if another person agrees with that. So nobody should push those thoughts that you need to get married. Of course, there are plenty more K-pop idols who are not married, like almost all Super Junior members and TVXQ. Even first-generation H.O.T members like Kangta and Tony who are over 40 and not married. And nobody would care if they decided to get married, but it's not easy even if you have the freedom to do so. As we know, in South Korea, the birth rate went down to the lowest percentage that has ever been, and the government is thinking of helping the youth meet each other by hosting events. So if for normal people it's hard to find someone, for celebrities it's even harder. Another issue, of course, for younger idols is fans. When EXO's member Chin announced his marriage, fans went berserk and demanded that he be kicked out of EXO. So can you imagine how much stress it puts on idol? It's their job, their income, that these crazy fans try to take away just because you found someone you love deeply and who makes you happy. So many idols have to wait till they hit an older age once their fans, too, grow up and move on, to get married. But you know, probably many idols were dating someone and had to break up because the relationship couldn't move further. Not many people will stay by your side in secret for decades, meeting rarely because they don't want to get caught. In this kind of setup, you can lose a very good person who could have been a partner for life. It's very sad, and I wish fans wouldn't go crazy once someone announces they are dating or getting married. You can congratulate them, but harassing them for their decision is not your right. But sadly, many of those crazy fans feel that it's their right to harass them with the mentality that their companies don't allow them to date, so they shouldn't. Many companies these days say that they can't date only because fans wouldn't freak out, but actually they don't care if they date, they just wish them not to get caught. But what is your opinion about this? Do you have anything to add? Thank you for watching, and see you next time.